Having studied India's macroeconomic variables in part 1, in part 2, let us try to understand the population demographics of India with respect to size and growth of population, birth and death rate, age and gender composition, along with infant mortality and maternal mortality rate, life expectancy and literacy rate. We shall also try and understand the concept of demographic dividend and its positive impact on the economy. To start with India's population demographics, India is the seventh largest country in the world in terms of its geographical area, but is the second largest country in the world in terms of its population. The population of India in 2017 has been 1.35 billions. One in every six people in the world is an Indian. India is a home for 17% of world population, but it has only 2.4% of world's land area. It is projected to be most populous country of the world, surpassing China in 2020. To start with the features of India's population, let us have look at the size of population. As mentioned earlier, India has 1.35 billion people with annual population growth rate of 1.15%. It comprises of 69.7 billions of males and 65.2 billions females. The percentage of female population was around 48% in 2017. This indicates unfavorable gender ratio in the country, which means the male population is more as compared to the female population. The states which has almost 48% of India's population are Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal and Madhya Pradesh. Whereas the most crowded cities in India are Mumbai, Bangalore, Kolkata, Delhi and Chennai. Next is birth rate. Crude birth rate indicates the number of live births occurring during the year per thousand population estimated at the mid-year. If we subtract the crude death rate from the crude birth rate, we will get the natural increase in population, which is nothing but annual growth rate of population. As per the statistics given by World Bank, the crude birth rate in India has declined from 31 per thousand in 1991 to 26 per thousand in 2001 and to 19 per thousand in 2015. Next is death rate. Crude death rate indicates the number of deaths occurring during the year per thousand population estimated at the mid-year. As per World Bank statistics, the crude death rate in India has declined to 7 per thousand in 2015 from 9 per thousand in 2001 and 11 per thousand in 1991. The low death rate could be attributed to the improvement in health services and health infrastructure. But unfortunately, there exists rural-urban divide with respect to death rate. In 2011, as per Census of India, the death rate in rural India was 8.2 per thousand population, while in urban areas it was 6 per thousand population. This speaks about lack of proper medical services and many other associated problems in our rural areas compared to urban areas. Next is population growth rate. It is the difference between the crude birth rate and crude death rate. Higher the difference, higher would be the natural increase in population of that country. It assumes that there has been no permanent migration during the period of calculation. because the percentage of permanent migration, if any, has to be subtracted from the total percentage of change in population. The population growth rate as per the World Bank data has reduced to 1.15% in 2016 compared to 1.7% in 2001 and 2% in 91. States like Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh and union territories like Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu and Puducherry recorded the highest growth rate of population as per census 2011. Age composition. It basically refers to age structure of the country's population. The graph clearly shows that the percentage of population in the age group of 15 to 64 years, which is also considered as productive population or the workforce of the country, has been highest. It was around 58% in 1991 and it stands at 66% in 2016. The dependent population, which is in the age group of 0 to 14 years and above 65 years, is less than 35% of total population. High percentage of working population helps the economy to grow faster. Gender composition in India. The gender ratio in any country shows the number of females per thousand males. Unfortunately for India, it has always been unequal. The percentage of males in 1991 were 51.7% of total population, while the females were around 48%. This ratio has not seen much of change for last 2.5 decades. The 2001 census showed 943 females per thousand males, while in 2018 it shows 945 females per thousand males. Still, the number of females in India are less as compared to number of males. The unfavorable gender ratio speaks about high rate of female feticide or neglect of girl child. Also, it could be a problem of not reporting actual number of females in certain villages of India due to some social taboos. But this unequal ratio is a sign of caution for any country. Kerala is only state which has favorable gender ratio of 1084 females per thousand males. Next is Puducherry where it is 1037 females per thousand males, whereas Haryana with 877 females per thousand males has had most unequitable ratio in the country as per 2011 census report. Though the latest state report of Haryana says it has improved its gender ratio to 950 females per thousand males, especially after the launch of Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao program of central government. Let's have a look at infant mortality rate in India. It is the number of infant dyings before reaching 1 year of age per thousand live births in a given year. As per the World Bank report, the infant mortality rate in India has declined to 34.5 deaths per thousand live birth in 2016 as compared to 64 deaths in 2001 and 86 deaths per thousand live births in 1991. As far as maternal mortality rate, that is the number of mothers dying at the time of delivery, has reduced from 538 per 1 lakh in 1991 to 174 per 1 lakh in 2015. The high rate of infant mortality rate or maternal mortality rate suggests unavailability of medical services or malnutrition among newborn or expecting mothers, may be because of poverty in villages of India. Point 8 is about life expectancy at birth. As per World Bank definition, it indicates the number of years a newborn infant would live if prevailing patterns of mortality at the time of its birth were to stay the same throughout his life. In simple words, it means it is the number of years on an average a person in that country would live. Life expectancy in India has increased from 41 years in 1960 to 68.33 years in 2015. As far as males and females are concerned, it was 40.4 years for females in 1960. It has increased to almost 70 years in 2015 for females, whereas an average life for male in India was 41.9 years in 1960, which has increased to 66.8 years in 2015. The average life expectancy of the world population in 2015 was around 72 years, while an life expectancy of China was around 76 years. In US it is 79 years and in UK it is 82 years. So going by international standards, India lags far behind with respect to average life of its citizen. Point 9 is literacy rate. It refers to percentage of the population age 7 and above who can with understanding read, write a short and a simple statement on their everyday life. As per 2011 census, the literacy rate in India was 74%, which means still 76% of India's population is illiterate. The proportion is still unequal among males and females, with male literacy being 82% while that of female literacy just 65%. Kerala recorded highest literacy of 93%, while Bihar with a percentage of 64% of literacy is the least literate state of India. At last, let us come to the concept of demographic dividend. A nation which has 66% of its population in the working age group of 15 to 64 years is considered to be the most productive nation in the world in terms of its economic growth. When the workforce of the nation is larger than its dependent population, the nation is set to benefit from demographic dividend. To define demographic dividend precisely, it is a situation wherein the rising share of working age people in a population results in a rise in the rate of economic growth. The economic growth of any country enhances when its workforce is larger than its dependent population, which is also referred to as unproductive population, which falls in the age group of 0 to 14 years, that is children, and above 65 years, that is old people. As per United Nations Population Fund, demographic dividend is the economic growth potential that can result from shift in a population age structure, mainly when the share of working age population, that is 15 to 64 years, is larger than non-working age share of the population, that is 14 and younger and 65 and older. In 2020, an average Indian will be only 29 years old compared to 37-year-old Chinese, 45 years old American, and 48 years old Japanese. So, India will be the youngest economy in comparison to major economies of the world, which will have large percentage of aging population. There are quite a few predictions done on the basis of well-researched studies that in near future, as a result of this demographic dividend, India would surpass the economic growth rate of China. The positive impact of demographic dividend would be seen through increasing saving and investment rate in the economy, leading to more business and employment opportunities. This would further increase income of nation, leading to faster pace of economic growth. But we need to be cautious of the fact that all this does not happen automatically. In fact, it would require deliberate efforts on the part of government to provide conducive environment for business and investment. Government will have to create employment opportunities to employ this large workforce. In wake of the same, Make in India, Skill India program and different measures to increase foreign direct investment in India are a step towards the right direction. A large investment in infrastructure, education and health will also be needed in near future if India actually has to reap the benefit of its demographic dividend.